was sort of wrapping things up. You know, we started hearing from Soundgarden this year, and slowly just the grunge stuff started coming in. We had already had Nirvana. They had already formed in '87, so it was just a matter of time. So let's make the most of it, focusing on 1989. Tesla, this is their second album, which is The Great Radio Controversy. And I'm a huge fan of that. In fact, I have a video about that album you can check out, and I love it. A lot of their biggest hits, Love Song and The Way It Is, are on there. My favorite are Making Magic and Paradise. You got me burning hot, now you're soaking me wet, even better than a lick and a kiss, making magic, making magic. In fact, I watched a show about what albums have stood the test of time, and Tesla, The Great Radio Controversy, was on there. Fate's Warning, Perfect Symmetry. That's one of my favorites, and I like this album the most. It sounds a little more like Queensryche, which is maybe why I like it more. Overkill, Years of Decay. Don't think you can go wrong with Overkill. They're pretty traditional as far as metal goes, and they don't really fall too far off the grid. Motley Crue, Dr. Feelgood. And I think you all know those songs, at least I know I do. I was looking forward to this one coming out, but it really didn't meet my expectations. I thought it sounded very commercial. I didn't care for some of their songs, especially Don't Go Away Mad. I thought that was kind of silly. But I guess I'd pick Same Old Situation, or as they call it, SOS. Next, Aerosmith, Pump. I really liked Pump. I thought it was great. I didn't care for Janie's Got a Gun, and I thought it was a little too deep. You know, music should be fun. I just didn't think it belonged. Voodoo, Medicine Man, and FINE. Fucked Up, Insecure, Neurotic, Emotional. Is that right? Fine. It kind of reminds me of learning to drive. I didn't learn how to drive an automatic. I learned to drive a stick shift. But my dad thought that if I could handle that, then I could handle being a driver. So there wasn't a choice. I had to learn stick. And I think he just wanted to make it a little more complicated, maybe so I could take it more seriously. Because I did take my parents' car out once, and it's a long story, but I took out a fence. And yeah, that didn't go very well. Badlands, Winter's Call. I think that was a great song, and I think it was a great album. I was very much anticipating what Jakey Lee was going to do, and I thought they hit a home run with that. What a fantastic band. Probably one of the best singers, with Ray Gillen for sure. And of course, Jakey Lee. Junkyard. They didn't get as much airplay as some of the others. Skid Row. I was in love with that CD, and it really sounded a little bit like Guns N' Roses, that kind of vibe, you know, that kind of Aerosmith sort of sound. And my favorite track, Rattlesnake Shake. And there's a really cool video with them rehearsing that song in 1988. White Lion, and I think this is a great one, Big Game. And my favorite song, Little Fighter, and I love what Mike Tramp said. When he was writing the lyrics for all the White Lion songs, he did it without writing perverted sort of lyrics, because he wanted his songs to really last through time. So I think he was probably one of the only rockers that was thinking that way. So good for him, and they have stood the test of time to me. I think that Vito Barata's a guitar genius, up there with Eddie Van Halen, in my opinion. And it's a shame he doesn't do it anymore, but something happened to his hand when he was playing. I think there are some musicians out there, or some guys from this time, that were just not, they were just not in it for the long road, you know, and perhaps he is like that, because I know Mike Tramp often gets asked that, what happened to Vito. I thought it was pretty good back in the day, and I still think it's good, because I followed them, was Faith No More, The Real Thing, and it was very different from, you know, the music I was listening to. You know, it had epic, which had, you know, funk, rap, rock, metal, thrash. It was just a combination of everything. I think they're pretty good still. I could still listen to them. I liked Falling to Pieces and Woodpeckers from Mars, and they did a pretty good version of War Pigs also. So yes, to Faith No More. But there also were some crappy bands in that time. I'm sorry, but I don't like Warrant. And I just thought, I don't know, I just thought they were just as far as the poser bands. I talked about Poison. I didn't say very nice things about them. I kind of feel the same way as Warrant. Although I really like Jamie Lane. He was a good guy and a good singer. I'll take what they did on the second album more so. This was Dirty, Rotten, Filthy, Stinkin' Rich, and I thought it was just not very good. Sorry. I know they had some hits on it. Heaven, Sometimes She Cries, but those choreographed moves they did on stage, I can't help to think that they were somewhat responsible for some of those boy bands in the 90s. If you watch what they did, now I can give Kiss a pass because they were wearing makeup when they did those moves, but not Warrant. It seems so commercial and fake, you know. But like I said, I did like Jamie Lane. I thought he was a good singer. Now, people might not agree with me on this one. This is a promotional copy of Bang Tango, Someone Like You. I know Joe Listay is not the best on vocals, but I love what he wrote here. Put on my glasses. We used to go to the Troc in Philadelphia and kind of see these bands when they were new. Nina, yo, you rock. Keep on rockin'. Not too cliche, huh? Love, Joe Listay. So that was really nice, and like I said, it's beat up, but he's a cool guy. Ever met someone that smoked pot through a apple pipe? LA Guns, the second one, Cocked and Loaded, which I know took them a while and a lot of money to make. And I think my favorite one on there is Easy Come Sleazy Go. Rip and Tear, that's a great song. I told Phil Lewis that I liked his look in that video, and I do. In fact, I painted a picture. I did a picture of him when I was on that painting kick, and if you notice behind me, my Paul Stanley is missing in favor of Lick It Up. and I'll show you that in a little bit. That was a little challenging, but it was fun. I enjoyed doing it. Dangerous Toys, and I really liked them. I went on Shiprocked and met Jason. He was in a different band then, but I liked the song Scared. I thought that was very good.
Maybe I'm inescapably becoming his pet. And then I think I like being scared, and I wish you all were there. Man, I really think that I like being scared.
Highly anticipated was the Blue Murder CD. I was looking forward to that one. I wanted to know what John Sykes was up to after he made such a great album with David Coverdale on the '87 Whitesnake. Did it meet my expectations? No, and I know they've had trouble finding a singer, and he had to do the job, and I thought it was good. In that same realm was Bonham. They came out with one. It's kind of sounded like that other band I talked about before, with the whole Led Zeppelin sound. They were bringing that. Of course, Jason Bonham is the son of John Bonham, so I guess that has something to do with it. But I thought that was a good band. I bought the album, and yeah, good stuff. And big hit was Wait For You.
You're too young to know what it is that I feel. All that I can do is wait for you.
Junkyard. Like, I was watching a video of theirs the other day, and I thought, geez, this is pretty good. And Bon Jovi had their big New Jersey, was a big hit then. I don't like any of the tracks on that album. Maybe, yeah, I don't even like the ballads. But I guess I would choose Lay Your Hands on Me, maybe. I did like Born to Be My Baby, but not now. Sometimes you change your mind about things and songs and bands and whatnot, but I pretty much stayed true to what I've always liked. '89 was a big year, and we even had The Front, and I talk about them a lot, and I've played them a lot. It's really hard to find that album, but it's around. Their self-titled album, The Front, which has every song is killer. Another one I want to talk about, Faster Pussycat. Now their debut was not so hot, and I didn't even talk about it, but I will say their second album was much better. They had that hit Poison Ivy, but my favorite one was Where There's a Whip, There's a Way. It sounds like a pretty provocative song, but it's really good, and I like the rhythm and the drums, just killer. I just don't know what they were doing on the first one. Although we listened to it, I just thought this one was much better. Yes, House of Pain. That was a very good song, and kind of sad, about the little boy who didn't have a home, didn't have an ideal home life. House of Pain, a little bit sad. It got to me then, it still gets to me now. And yeah, this was a big year for songs, and I thought it was fun that I found a video of Belinda Carlisle with Mark from Zodiac Mind Warp and the Love Reaction. He was her guitar player. So I had to take a little video of this. I thought it was fun. But he also wrote Feed My Frankenstein, if you're a big Alice Cooper fan.
Mark Manning also has a book out, and I'm kind of curious about it.
Alice Cooper had an album in 1989, big comeback with Poison. And yeah, it was a little commercial, sure it was, but it was showing that he could write another hit, which he did. Yeah, so lots of stuff in '89, but we were definitely seeing more some changes there. And as far as some albums that weren't very hip, I never liked U2. They had some, and REM was huge, and the Fine Young Cannibals. I remember they were all over the place. I thought were pretty good. Roy Orbison, You Got It. I thought that was a great song. And I also liked I Drove All Night by Cyndi Lauper. Yes, I do. I thought that was a good one too. My favorite movies from the time, Christmas Vacation, and also, here's another one, Weekend at Bernie's. I went to see that in the movie theater, and I didn't quite know what to think about it. But as I'm older and now, I find that movie very entertaining. I don't know if they could make a movie like that today, but I thought that was a pretty funny movie, and pretty clever too. For sure, Weekend at Bernie's, Christmas Vacation were two of my favorites. And what were yours? Share them, and I'll see you next time in 1990. So take care, and I'll see you then. Bye.